I'm bigcal and welcome to my world. Today another recent video games pickups video and likely the last of the year before Christmas and New Year and all that nonsense. So got a nice pile here. We'll start off with a Game Boy Advance game, and this is Mother 3 fan translation. So obviously Mother 3 only ever came out in Japan, was never translated into English. We're still kind of waiting for it. Come on Nintendo, we got the first two Mother games now. They're both available on the Wii U Virtual Console. Come on, Mother 3. But until then, I have the Game Boy Advance original version, but modified with English. This is obviously a fan-made cart translation, and it looks absolutely fantastic. The cartridge is, perfect. I don't know if it's been I think it's a reused cart, probably. But the label looks absolutely fantastic on it. Plays just fine. I've seen these go for like 20 quid on their own on websites. I got it for like £3 on eBay. Took about 2 weeks to arrive, but other than that, absolutely fine. And even came in its own little case, which I always forget which way round they go. There, backwards. Another Game Boy Advance game. This one wasn't released outside of Europe, I don't think. It might have been in Japan, and it's called Star X. Obviously the label's a bit damaged here, but I got it dirt cheap, so I'm not too bothered. And it's kind of like a Star Fox style game on the Game Boy Advance. It looks really cool. It runs a bit slow, obviously, in the Game Boy Advance hardware. It's not the best game out there, but it is a cool little addition to my collection. And an original Game Boy game, one that also runs on Game Boy Color, Donkey Kong Land 2! Yeah! Obviously, it sort of plays and looks very similar to Donkey Kong Country 2. You've got Diddy and Dixie, is it? Got their abilities and things. Only it's on the Game Boy. Only it's on the Game Boy and Game Boy Color, and it's amazing how they managed to fit these games onto Game Boy cartridges. It really blows my mind. 'Cause it's got the same graphic style as the Super Nintendo versions, and obviously, if you put it in a Game Boy Color or a Game Boy Advance or whatever, you get colour added to it, and it just looks and plays fantastic. So very happy with that. Okay, we've got some 3DS games. Firstly, Pokemon X. Yes, never played this one before. I missed this generation completely because when it came out, I didn't have a 3DS. And then when I got a 3DS, Pokemon Sun and Moon had just come out. So those were the new games, and that's what I got straight away and played. So it was nice to be able to pick this up and finally play it, so I can now say I've played at least one game from every Pokemon generation. And I also own one from every generation, I think. Still need to get loads of Pokemon games, because I only own like one for most generations. Anyway, I actually thoroughly enjoyed it, because obviously the one I'd played previous to this was Sun, which is so very different to all the other Pokemon games. It was like going back to the older sort of look and style, but also new, because this was the first one for the 3DS with the full 3D models and things, an upgrade from like Black and White 2 on the DS. So it was really cool, really fun to play. Really, really fucking easy though. I mean, my god. If you think the experience share that you get early on in Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun and Moon, it makes it easy. This, I swear to god, it gives you like a bazillion XP for all of your people. I played like half of the game just using my starter. Only my starter. I went with the water one, of course. Everyone else was just getting experience from the experience share, and they were all maybe 6 or 7 levels behind my starter only. So when it got time and I needed another Pokemon, they were there, all fully leveled up exactly where I needed them. And catching Pokemon, Jesus Christ. Throw a Pokeball and they just go in. It's like, yay, we want to come with you. And it seemed like there were so many different Pokemon on each route as well. You go around in some grass, there's a Pokemon, you get another encounter, something completely different. You get like 5 or 6 different Pokemon like from each individual encounter before you end up getting duplicates. So I really, really enjoyed this one. So glad to have finally picked it up. And then of course lastly, Pokemon Ultra Sun on the 3DS. I got this actually 2 days before it launched. I pre-ordered it and it came early, so I was very happy with that. I got a head start on it. Fortunately, I didn't get to play it. I got it on the Wednesday and I didn't really get to play it on the Thursday, but yeah, still got a head start. And my God, I think this might be my favourite Pokemon game. Depending on when certain videos get uploaded, bigcal talks, if it's already been posted before this video, you'll know why. If I haven't already posted it, then wait a couple of days for bigcal talks where I go through and kind of review the game sort of thing on it. All I can say is absolutely fantastic, love it. I've put in 50 hours into it now, which is more than any Pokemon game that I've done for quite some time. Usually I just sort of go through, do the Elite Four, some bit of the post-game stuff, capture a legendary, and then not really much else that interests me to do. This seems to have lots. So very, very happy with that. Moving away from, well, we'll stick to handheld first. The UMD, I got the UMD, the PSP video format. Welcome to the Jungle, also known as the Rundown in other locations. Christ knows why they had to change it, no doubt some legal issues. But yeah, the Rundown, starring The Rock, Sean William Scott, and it's one of the very, very few films that I actually enjoy with The Rock in. So yeah, I saw it and decided just to pick it up because why not? Next, another game that I do believe was not released outside of Europe. It's PlayStation 2 and it is Home Alone. Yes, they made a Home Alone game for the PlayStation 2. I have yet to play this one. All I can say is, based on the screens on the back, it looks terrible. And I kind of went into the purchase knowing it's considered a terrible game. But I do have plans for it in the future. I was hoping for plans for it this year. Obviously, Home Alone, something to do with Christmas, but things haven't panned out the way I wanted. So, the footage on the screen now will be me finally testing it and playing it. And yeah, in the probably next year now, you'll eventually see a video on it. But I just thought it was cool to own, especially because not released in outside of Europe. Next, some Xbox 360 games. We'll start firstly with Halo 3 ODST. Needed this one for the Halo collection on the 360, so now I just need the original Halo remake, and I've got all the Halo 360 games. Only cost me 99p, very happy with that. It was like 350 in secs. I got it from cash converters, so I'm fine with that. Again, I don't think I've tested the game yet to play it, but I'm sure it's fine. And then I wasn't going to pick up this game or any of the series because I wasn't that interested in it, but for 49p I picked up the original Gears of War. Again, haven't tried this one yet, so the footage that will be on the screen is me eventually playing it. It's a big shooty game with big muscled up guys. I'm sure I'll get some fun out of it at the very least. And lastly, the 360, this and the next item just arrived in the post today, haven't even opened it. Dark Souls 2, the Scholar of the First Sin edition. Didn't know it was the special edition when I ordered it. Even comes in a nice little cool boxy thing, or I don't know, maybe just I think it's just like a cardboard sleeve, that's the word I was looking for. People keep telling me to try Dark Souls games, so this was in a Black Friday sale for like £3 brand new, and I didn't even realise it was the Scholar of the First Sin version. So there we go, nice to add to my collection, especially for that price. And lastly, another item I got in the Black Friday sales, it only cost like £6 odd, and that is for the Wii U Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival. Yeah, never played an Animal Crossing game, not interested in them. This is like some weird party game. Honestly, haven't opened it yet, don't plan to. I pretty much bought it because it was cheap. It comes with the game, 2 amiibos, as you can see there, and it's on the side there as well, I think, 2 amiibo cards. 3, sorry. Yeah, it's in a big box, nice collector's item. Pretty much bought it because, who knows, it might be worth something in a few years' time and I might get more than my £6 odd back. I don't know, it's just, it's going into my collection. It'll just sort of sit there and do nothing. It'll look nice on the shelf. It's not often, in fact, this is really the only occasion I can think of where I bought a game and I just don't care about it, but I got it because it's a nice special edition and might be worth something in the future. Who knows? You know, they're going dead cheap, so I'm assuming not many people are buying it. So who knows, maybe in 5 to 10 years' time, people will be desperate to get this Wii U collector's edition. I'll have one all brand new, be like, £200, please. And probably in 5 to 10 years' time, £200 will be worth like 2p today. So, yeah, there's that. So, yeah, those are all of my recent game pickups. Also, likely bought some digital games, you know. Definitely I got Postal 2 collection on Steam. I already own Postal 2 and the original expansion pack, the Apocalyptic Weekend or something, Apocalypse Weekend. But then they released a couple of years ago. They released a brand new, DLC pack, basically an expansion for Postal 2 using the Postal 2 engine because people were so disappointed with Postal 3. I was waiting for it to be released on goodoldgames.com because that's where I own Postal 2. It's been years, there've been no mention of them working on it still, so it's just like, fuck it. It cost me something like 89p for everything on Steam, so got that now. I also did kind of cave in with the Black Friday sale or whatever on the Nintendo 3DS and bought Super Mario World on it. Just because it's Super Mario World, I need to own every version. And I think that might be everything that I got game-wise digitally. Anyway, so yeah, those are my pickups. Hope you enjoyed them. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm bigcal. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Okay, so I have a few extra games here that have come after I recorded this video, but I didn't want to wait until the next pickups video next year to put them in. Firstly, we have for the Game Boy Color, Dragon Ball Z Legendary Super Warriors. This is a card-based RPG game, sort of similar to the Legendary Super Saiyan on the Super Nintendo, that I do own. It's a Japanese-only game, but I have the cartridge with the English translation on. It seems sort of similar to that with attack and defense cards and specials, although to be quite honest, playing through just the first battle in the game seems very slow and tedious, and there's even a couple of like quick time button presses to try and do more damage that it doesn't tell you are going to happen. It doesn't explain in the tutorial that they're there. You just sort of get thrown into it, and there doesn't seem to be enough time to do them. So right now, can't say I really like the game, but maybe after I get past the first battle and start to level up, it might get a little bit easier. Another Dragon Ball Z game, and this one is a ROM hack called Pokemon Dragon Ball Z Training. It is a ROM hack of Pokemon Fire Red that puts Dragon Ball Z characters into the game. You, as a young trainer, collect fighters, and it's set in Pokemon Fire Red on the Game Boy Advance. However, I got a physical copy that comes in a nice 3DS case with a very well printed cover, nice quality paper, and then inside is the Game Boy Advance cartridge with the ROM actually on it and a nice label. I was hoping to record more footage of this, either to do a video or maybe in the future do a Let's Play, but it did have issues running on my Game Boy player for the GameCube. However, playing it in a normal Game Boy Advance SP, I've had absolutely no issues, and it is really fun. I've got Vegeta as my starter, catching other Saiyans and androids, and it's just really, really fun. Of course, you can get the ROM online for free to play with an emulator, so maybe best just to do that. Although it only cost me £16 for the physical copy, which I thought was quite a good price, and I am really enjoying it at the moment. And lastly, we have two PlayStation 3 games. First is Dead Rising 2. Since I got Dead Rising 1 on the Xbox 360 recently, I figured I'd get the next one, and it was cheaper for me to get it on the PlayStation 3 than it was on the Xbox 360. Of course, it's just more cool, crazy, killing zombie violence, although the game does start off very weird by putting you on a motorcycle in a room with a couple of other people on motorcycles, having to mow down as many zombies as possible. Very odd start, but then it picks up and you're sort of back in a mall-like situation, trying to kill as many zombies. So, seems like it's fun. Lastly, we have Ratchet and Clank Nexus. I really like the Ratchet and Clank series. They're fun action 3D platformers, but I never really hear about the PlayStation 3 games. Everyone always talks about the PlayStation 2 games and then the reboot for the PlayStation 4. I already have one or two on the PlayStation 3. This is just another one to add to the collection, and it plays, feels and looks just as good as any on the PS2, just with updated graphics. So I'll definitely look forward to having fun with this game in the future.